Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. My name is Aaliyah, as you can see, and we about to get deep into it. We about to have a chit chat. All my PCOS girlies, come to the front. Come on, come on, come on. I really want this to be like a conversation. Hopefully it doesn't trigger anybody or anything. I just want to speak from experience, my experience. Also, even if you don't have PCOS, I do want to go on the internet a little bit and educate you and tell you how I learned and my experience and everything. So this video is probably going to be a little long, but hopefully y'all are here for it. Okay. So let's get into it. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell y'all what PCOS is. Okay, polycystic ovary syndrome. It's a hormonal disorder causing enlarged ovaries with small cysts on the outer edges. The cause of polycystic ovary syndrome isn't well understood, but may involve a combination of genetic and environmental factors. Symptoms include menstrual being irregular, excess facial hair or just hair growth, acne, obesity. Treatment includes birth control pills to make your period regular, medication called metformin to prevent diabetes. It helps control high cholesterol, hormones, increase fertility. If you go on Google and you just type PCOS, you'll see a whole thing you can look up or whatever. Okay, cool. First, I'm going to talk about how I figured out that I had PCOS. So, and let me pull up my notes from my video that I did. I don't know if y'all saw it. It was, I have PCOS, of course, right? So, how I found out that I had PCOS was I've had time over the years where I had these symptoms or these things that happened where I thought, okay, I could be pregnant, but it was like a scare basically. So I would think, okay, because my period was regular for a while, and then after that it turned irregular. Okay, and I was just like, what's the deal or whatever. So as time progressed and I started looking up, I was like, well, periods being irregular, I'm getting facial hair, I'm putting in all my symptoms, and it always led to saying I have PCOS, basically. So that's how I found out or whatever. I purposely did not shave my facial hair for this video because I want to be as raw and uncut as possible. I told y'all that I want to be raw and uncut, and that's what I want to be. So let's get into it. So as you can see right here, facial hair. And then when I was a little girl, my sideburns would grow really low, child, and facial hair. My skin was good for a little while, and then I started getting acne and whatever like that, and it's just been a mess. So now my skin is kind of on and off or whatever with the acne and everything, and whatever. So it's just a lot. Even with gaining weight, because I think, and I don't want to lie, hold on. So I didn't always have PCOS. I developed it later on in life as I got older. So I think that it started when I was like kind of fresh out of high school or whatever, because before I just had like the thick sideburns, and later on came the facial hair or whatever. So and then my periods being regular, and then it turned irregular. Also, the weight gain. The weight gain was one of the biggest things. I like when I would work out or whatever, it was easy for me to just like lose weight or whatever, and then it became like the struggle for me to lose it. So that was another thing. So real quick, I'm gonna just say my list from the video if you want to watch the video, or if you want to watch the short. I think I can link it or whatnot. If I can't, you can watch it on my TikTok, on ItsAaliyahsLife. It's totally up to you. Just saying. So I wanted facial hair. My periods are irregular. We just went over those. People think that I'm overweight just to be overweight. Hence the struggle with losing weight. It's harder for me to lose weight. It's more of a challenge. I have cysts on my ovaries. I have thyroids, which I'll get into. I have low energy and fatigue. And people probably just think I'm being lazy. I have to take metformin. I also have to take birth control. And I knew my diagnosis before my doctor knew what it was. So, so let's backtrack a little bit. So, before I went to my OBG, that's the other thing. That's another reason how I figured out, because I wasn't going to OBG yet. Like, I had my OBG for the past, 2 years, maybe 3. Not that long, honestly. Not that long. So I noticed that, I'm not going to get into it, but yeah, not that long, whatever. I was mainly going to my primary care doctor, and then I went to the OBG later on. So with metformin, I was prescribed metformin with my primary doctor. It was basically to help manage my weight. The way they put it, PCOS is somewhat like having diabetes. You have to be careful with starches and all this other stuff. And well, they didn't explain it to me like that. It was explained like that later on with my OB. But basically that's how they did the scenario, as far as like taking care of yourself, making sure you regulate and you do everything that you need to do. Like, you know, low energy and fatigue. I became more fatigued and having low energy more so like since, I feel like it was more so like last year. I don't feel like it's been that long, because before I used to be like on the go and moving around and just be like, okay, I gotta go, like. And then I think the thing that kind of heightened it was this procedure that I had, which I'll talk about it. So yeah. And okay, so let's go into the cysts and the thyroids and the birth control, because all that is new. Let's get into the OBG. So I was talking to my regular OBGYN, and basically we had a conversation about the whole period thing or whatever like that. We did a pap smear on me, and I think something, what I can remember is I think something was off with the pap smear, and she was like, okay, let's get you an ultrasound, basically. So a couple weeks went by. Cool. I go get the ultrasound. If you never had an ultrasound, especially not being pregnant, I'll tell you how it goes. Basically, it's like being pregnant, but you're not. So basically, you go in, wait, the usual wait or whatever. I don't know if all OBs are like this, but mine had like a section basically that was in front of the door for the ultrasound. They call you in this room, you get undressed, whatever like that. You sit on the little chair, whatever, and they do it on your like below to look at your ovaries and your cervix and everything. Prior to this situation happening, I went to a fertility place because I know like there's some women that have PCOS and they can still have kids. I mean, you can have kids on with having PCOS, but you just have to see what your case is, whatever. So that doctor gave me a vaginal ultrasound, and she did everything, whatever like that. I'm seeing everything, and they told me that I have a thyroid. Cool. Okay, so back to my OB. So she does the ultrasound, but this one she does on the outside or whatever. Like I said, she's looking at my cervix, she's looking at everything. At the time, she was saying that she wasn't saying nothing. So let me start there. She wasn't saying nothing. But she's looking at my cervix, she's looking at, everything, whatever. She's trying to see what's going on, whatever like that. So I'm trying to ask her questions. She's like, your doctor, your nurse gonna explain that to you. Da, 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 da. I'm like, okay, cool. Mind you, it's just me. Usually I try to have somebody come with me. It was just me there. Okay, cool. I go in the room and I sit on a chair because she was like, you can sit up on the little chair table thing or you can sit in regular chairs, up to you. So she comes in and she says, Aaliyah, you have thyroids and you have a cyst on your ovary. Now, we're trying to see where the thyroid is, and we also can't see your left ovary, so we need to make sure that there's not another cyst over there. She also said that my cervix was thickened, so it was a little bigger, it was a little thicker than she wanted it to be, and so she needs to do a procedure on me to make sure that I did not have cancer. Pause. Oof. Okay. So the reason why, of course, the reason why you don't want to hear that you have freaking cancer, like, I'm only 31. What are you talking about? That's number one. Number two, if you don't know, I'll tell you. So I had an older sister. She passed from cervical cancer. So when she found out everything, or at least when I was told everything, she was already stage 4, and there was like there was no saving her, basically. So yeah, this tattoo I have is for all my sisters, but I have a certain part of it for her. So if I do a tattoos video, I'll tell y'all all about my tattoos, why I have these tattoos, whatever like that. So yeah, so when she told me that, I'm just thinking about my sister. I'm thinking about, I'm young, it's still a lot that I want to do. I'm thinking about how I'm mad at myself because I wasn't taking social media serious or whatever. I'm like, I want to accomplish this. I'm thinking about how I want to get my mom a house and do all these things. Like, I'm just thinking, and my wheels are turning. I'm just like, bro, nah, bro. Like, I'm not, no. So she lays that on me. So she walks out for a little minute. I get emotional, you know, I'm upset, talking to my little sister. They think she's my big sister. I'm talking to my little sister. I'm like, girl, just that third going on, da, 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 and I'm just hysterical. And she's like, girl, calm down, calm down. God got you. You'll be all right. Calm down, calm down. So, yeah. So I tell her I'm going to call her back. So the doctor comes in and she's like, you know, I'm just coming to check on you or whatever. She's like, so we're going to have to do a biopsy on you. Mind you, I have had a biopsy before. I had it on both of my breasts, and I could do a story time on that if y'all want. But she was like, she needs to do a biopsy on me. She was like, do you want to schedule it for another day and have somebody come with you, or how do you want to do it? And I was like, nope, let's do it today. Let's do everything today. Let's just cut it, no chaser, like whatever we gotta do, let's go ahead and do it. She's like, the biopsy, she has to insert something inside me similar to a pap smear, but it hurts and it's very crampy. Okay, cool. Now, if you haven't had a pap smear, for those who haven't, let me educate you on how that is, or how that, from my experience anyway. So when they, well, everybody experiences the same, but anyways, when they do the pap smear, this is your, you know, this is the tool that they have for the pap smear, and they take it and they open your, yeah, they open that up, and then they take something and they scrape or whatever, and baby, they in there. You and your OBG is gonna get real acquainted. Y'all gonna be, you gonna feel like, because that's how I felt. I felt like we got real acquainted real fast, and I felt like she should have took me on a date first. That's how I felt. But yeah, but seriously, she was like, yeah, so it's like that, but it's just more painful because it's more crampy. We're gonna insert it in, it's gonna hurt, we're gonna cut or whatever and get the sample, and then you're done or whatever. So I'm like, okay, so I'm thinking it's not that bad. Baby, when I tell you that junk hurt, like they did give me Tylenol. That Tylenol didn't work. I felt everything. So she does that. I'm just emotional. I just feel like I've been violated, honestly, and I'm just laying there, I'm crying, you know, whatever. I'm trying to stay calm, cool. She's like, take whatever time you need. I know it was a lot, da, da, da. I'm like, okay, cool. I leave the hospital, I leave the OBG that day. That was a Monday. It was a Monday. Y'all, so disclaimer, if you don't want to hear about stuff that's TMI, if you're very squeamish or whatever the case may be, you can skip this part. But this is for educational purposes only. I'm just speaking from my experience, and I'm telling you what happened to me. Okay? Like I said, that procedure happened that Monday. Baby, Friday came and I started bleeding, you know? I'm bleeding or whatever. I'm thinking my cycle came on. So I'm just like, girl, you fine. Like, you know, your cycle just came on, whatever, put on a little pad, you good, whatever, like that. Y'all, it was BC's, blood BC's or whatever, and there was like some that was like that small, and there was some like that big, bruh, like, and it was causing me to freak out. I'm not gonna lie, it was causing me to freak out. I've never seen nothing like that come out of me. And it was just it I'm not gonna traumatize y'all. But just know I dealt with a lot. That went on for a month, pretty much. It went on for a month, pretty much. I was out of pads. I had to stock up some more, and I couldn't really do anything, and they had me on bed rest, and it was a lot, honey. It was a lot. I was taking care of my god baby. I had to stop taking care of my god baby because I was on bed rest. I can't do nothing. I'm still technically on bed rest until sometime in July, which is like, what do you mean? I'm not going to pause my life for that long. No. So I've been taking it easy, whatever like that. So fast forward to that next appointment. I was telling her, like, listen, this is still going on and I'm not rocking with it. I don't like it. I feel disgusting. No, you gotta help me. You gotta help me figure this out, how we can stop this. And she said, you ever been on birth control? I said, no. We're gonna put you on birth control. I said, cool. I said, you can put me on birth control. I don't care. As long as I don't gain no weight. That's my only thing. Because I know some people, they gain weight on birth control. I did not. That was my one thing. As long as I don't gain no weight, I don't care. Whatever. I'll take the birth control. Cool. Y'all, it's so crazy. Because literally the next day, I started taking the birth control. Like the blood, I'm not going to say it completely stopped, but it got better, basically. So now, like, I think I'm maybe like 2 weeks into my birth control, going on 3. And it's like, as long as I take my birth control, I don't got to deal with it. When I tell you I'm good, yeah, I'm cool with it. So she was like, yeah, so we want to see you back in July. And just take care of yourself, be careful, whatever like that. Baby, that's pretty much everything. I did, for Memorial Day, I did go with family, and it wasn't as bad as it was. I was like lightly bleeding or whatever, but it wasn't horrible. I really didn't have to deal with it until I went home or whatever. I was like, well, thank God you let me at least go home to deal with it, because that would have been so embarrassing. But I'm fine now. Like I said, I'm just a little traumatized from that whole situation, because I never had anything like that happen to me before. I forgot one thing. Okay, so let me go back. Also, I had to get an MRI. So when the nurse, when she said she couldn't see my left ovary, after I had the procedure, I think like a week or 2 after, they scheduled me for the MRI. First of all, if you have to get an MRI, don't be like me and go on TikTok or Google and search an MRI. I mean, well, you can, just to see what it looks like to prepare yourself, but yeah. So basically, the MRI was done at a nearby hospital. They did the regular question and answer, whatever like that, and you don't strip or anything. If anything, you just go to the restroom, make sure you empty your bladder and everything. And they told me that I needed to remove my piercings, which I have this one that I never take out, my tragus, and then I had my a little hair. I had my conch that I'm getting removed because the back skin grew on my conch or whatever. But I took my nose ring out though. But even with taking it out, like, it wasn't bad. Like, they were saying that my earrings could heat up and everything. I'm just like, it felt like a fan in here. Like, what y'all talking about? But going in the MRI machine, when you walk in, I'm not gonna lie, it's like very overwhelming. It is. You just see this big machine, and you see this little hole, and it's like, I gotta go in there. And you're like, they put me in feet first. I think if I went in head first, I probably would have freaked out. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I went in feet first, and being that they was just checking my ovaries and my cervix or whatever, I think that's the other reason why I didn't really have to go like so deep in, because my head was like out the machine or whatever, so I was fine. They gave me some music and it was really loud, but even with the loud noise, my music was low, but I still could hear it. So I was vibing. I started to doze off a little bit, and I was chilling. I was big chilling. The only thing that I didn't like is I'm not a back sleeper. I'm more so of a stomach and side sleeper. So me being on my back for that long was hurting, because, like, you know, everybody got that little arch or whatever in your back or whatever. So it's like my back wasn't like, it wasn't flat on the little bed thing. It was like a little space right there, which they gave me like some pillows for my legs, and they gave me like a little it had like a little curve on it to put under my back, but it didn't curve enough for me, in my opinion. But you know, they took care of me or whatever. What else? I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, I had to get blood drawn. Yo, don't do this. I had to get blood drawn for my primary doctor and my OBG. Y'all, they took like I think they took like 8 tubes from me. Bro, one day. Never do it. I'm never doing that again. I don't know what the heck was like. Aaliyah, just go ahead and get it done. I don't know. I think I'd rather just deal with it head first and just get it over with, basically. But baby, I had to get that done. I think that's it, y'all. At least I can remember. Bed rest. So yeah, that's everything, I think. Oh, and I had to, well, I was already doing it, but I had to change my diet, basically. But yeah, life with PCOS. I think if anything, it just took like a big old stress on my mental, because the way I was praying and the way I was just like, bruh, I just hope I don't have cancer. Thank God I don't have it and everything. And I was just praying that everything was going right or whatever. So yeah. But if you are, or if you have PCOS and you're watching this, comment down below. Let me know your experiences. Let me know what you've been going through as far as PCOS. Let me know basically your story. Also, if you're a PCOS mommy, let me know your journey into having kids. Did you have to go through IVF? Did you just conceive them naturally? What happened? What did you do? Side note, I think I want to redo the all about me video where I was telling y'all like stuff about me, whatever like that, and I was talking about how I had another channel. So shameless plug. So my channel, my second channel, it's pretty much like this channel, honestly. It's more so like reviews of smell goods and makeup, if I'm wearing makeup, like, you know, more girly stuff. But you'll probably see me more on here. But I'm trying to like manage my time when I'm there and I'm here or whatever like that. So I'm still figuring that part out. But my channel name, I changed my channel name, which I need to do a video on that. My channel name change is Aaliyah Established. So I was talking to my sister. I'll tell y'all the story later. Y'all probably sick of me talking. I've been talking for 30 minutes. 30 minutes. I think I covered everything though. I think I did. But if you have any questions, let me know and I'll make another video. Okay? But